Okay, well, we might get started. There might be some others that will still continue to join us and we can admit them as they come, but officially welcome everybody that has already joined us, and we will get started. My name is Sarah Judd-Lamb. I'm the Executive Manager of Policy Development and Research at Carers New South Wales. I'm just starting off this session and then I'll be handing over to our Education Officer, Wendy, who will be delivering the presentation, and I'll join back at the end just to wrap it up. Today's session is the third and final in a session this week as part of National Carers Week called Lunchtime Learning that Carers New South Wales has done the last couple of years. We had on Monday one about the first results of the 2024 National Carer Survey. We had one on Wednesday about preparing for natural disasters. And then today's session is focused on resources available to carers that are focused on wellbeing. And so all three sessions will be recorded. You can catch up on any that you weren't able to join. They'll sit together as a session. So hopefully you've been able to do some other activities or see some other information this National Carers Week, which is all about celebrating carers and their contribution to the community. And there'll be things that you can catch up on as well after this week if this is your first event. So before we get started in the session, I want to also acknowledge the traditional custodians of the lands that we're all joining from today. So here in North Sydney, where the team is delivering session from today, that's the Gorogal people. And we pay our respects to elders past and present from this land and from all the lands represented by attendees today. I can see there's a couple of technical issues happening in the chat. Hopefully we can get everyone's audio working. Thanks to Francisca, who is assisting with that in the chat. Again, thankfully we're recording, so we'll be able to provide the recording to anyone that misses anything in the beginning. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Wendy, who'll talk you through just a little bit about Carers New South Wales and about Carer Wellbeing resources. So over to you, Wendy.
Thanks, Sarah. Thanks everyone for joining us. I just wanted to start by just doing a brief overview of Carers New South Wales for anyone that we might be new to. So we're the peak non-government organisation for carers across New South Wales. And we have a number of goals as an organisation to be a leading carer organisation in which carers have confidence, to actively promote carer recognition and support, actively support carers to navigate a changing service landscape, promote connected community experiences and opportunities, lead and advocate for carer-specific and carer-inclusive policymaking, research and service delivery, and continue to be a quality-driven, responsive and carer-focused organisation. So just a brief reminder, when we're talking about carers under the Carer Recognition Act 2010, a carer is any person that is providing support or care to another person for a range of different reasons. So we're talking about informal, unpaid family members or friends, supporting another person who may be living with a disability, a mental health condition, drug or alcohol dependency, a chronic health condition, terminal illness, or who may be frail due to age. So often carers are caring for more than one person at a time. It doesn't matter whether you're living with the person that you're caring for, whether you're related to them or not, you're still considered a carer under the Carer Recognition Act. And we do know that there are more than 950,000 carers living in New South Wales, of which approximately 349,000 are primary carers. So this session, we're sharing with you a range of wellbeing resources. Now, wellbeing is not just the absence of disease or illness. It's a complex combination of people's physical, mental, emotional, and social health factors. There's lots of things that contribute to wellbeing, and we're going to share with you a range of resources that will be freely available to people following the session today. We've built in direct links to these resources, and there's also some wellbeing videos that may be of benefit as well. So as Sarah mentioned, we'll be sharing a copy of the recording, and we'll also be sharing a copy of the PowerPoint pack with the links built into it for people. So it's important to know that wellbeing, there's lots of different factors that can influence our wellbeing, including happy, intimate relationships, a network of close friends, an enjoyable and fulfilling career, having enough money, regular exercise, a nutritional diet, getting enough sleep, spiritual or religious beliefs, fun hobbies and leisure pursuits, a healthy self-esteem, an optimistic outlook, um, and realistic and achievable goals. So there's quite a few different things and lots of different ways in which we can support carers with wellbeing. We have, starting off, we've just got a few resources around eating well. We all know all of these things around self-care and eating well, but it can be challenging at times to eat a well-balanced, nutritious diet. And to have regular food throughout the day, particularly when we're busy and our time's we've been pulled in different directions. So we've got some helpful tips for busy carers. There's a link there to some more tips for people. So things like being organised, trying to make sure you've got lots of healthy snacks and staples in the pantry and in the fridge, taking snacks with you. So that if you're delayed, if you're waiting for doctor's appointments, if you're delayed, if you're distracted by phone calls, if you're running from activity to activity, you've got healthy food options available. Um, Looking into whether you can explore purchasing some ready meals or some frozen food options, um, looking for easy meal options, and even considering delivered meal services. So we've got a link there, and when we share the pack with you, just with any of the links that are built in, if you click onto those links, it will take you directly to the page where there are additional tips and strategies that may be helpful to people. So this has got some tips um, on planning meals. So tips for busy people. We also have a link to the Australian Guide to Healthy Eating, which just reminds us about the 5 different food groups. There's a guide there. There is also a link to different food essentials, guidelines on a healthy diet. If you're looking for a nutrition calculator, so we've got some validated tools there from some trusted resources for people. The next section looks at staying active, and we all know that exercise is an important part of wellbeing. Studies recommend that we have 30 minutes of moderate intensity exercise most days. I think what it's important for carers to recognise is that you're often very, very active throughout the day, whether you're doing intense things like housework, running around to appointments, up and down stairs, that type of thing. So that exercise can be broken up into 10-minute lots. It can seem like it's quite a big goal to try and add on 30 minutes of activity to your day. So look for opportunities to build exercise into what you're currently doing throughout the day. So there's some tips there. It talks about starting off small and building your way up. Being social, if it's possible to exercise with a friend. Try and build activity into things that you might already be doing. So if you're driving to the shops, you might park a little bit further away to get your steps in. If you're dropping someone off at a therapy appointment, you might choose to go for a walk around the block while you're waiting. We have a link there if people are looking for more exercise options, more tips around activity. New South Wales Health has an active and healthy program. And I'll just show you the website here. There's lots of information. If you're looking for an exercise program that's close to you, that might be something that you want to look at. If you're looking at joining a program like Stepping On, if you're seeking advice from health professionals, there's some good tips there on the website. I'm not sure if people realise that New South Wales Health actually has a free health coaching service called Get Healthy. So if you've got specific goals around healthy eating, being active, reducing the amount of alcohol you're drinking, maintaining a healthy weight, healthy weight during pregnancy. If you're living with diabetes or living with cancer, you may want to reach out to New South Wales Health. And we've just got the telephone number there and the website. People can fill out a form online to register for that program as well. And I think it's up to 8 one-on-one coaching sessions with a coach that's matched to the goals that you're setting for yourself. Looking after our mental health can prove a bit of a challenge for some people as well. And just to remind everyone, as we all know, it's just as important as maintaining our physical health. There are lots of dedicated services available for different types of challenges people might be experiencing. Everything from help with general mental health, with suicide, grief and loss, relationship problems, bullying and harassment, work or study stress, financial stress, and substance abuse. And some general tips, it's pretty similar for people that are wanting to stay active and look after their diet. It's regular exercise, having a balanced meal, balanced diet, getting enough sleep, cutting down on drugs and alcohol, talking and socialising with family and friends, relaxing in ways that suit you, and seeking help and support when you need it. There are more tips here on Health Direct's website. Okay, so if you're looking for further tips and strategies or some additional supports for your individual circumstances, Health Direct has some really good information on their website with links to specific supports as well. And we've also listed some additional contact numbers. We've got the 2 carer-specific contacts at the top. So Carer Connections Helpline is for mental health carers, Carer Gateway, and then we have a range of different supports that a lot of you would already be familiar with. Sleep and rest can also be challenging at times for lots of different reasons. Some helpful tips would be to try and create a regular routine for yourself. There's lots of help sheets around things like sleep hygiene, trying to go to bed at the same time, trying to wind down later in the day, reducing screen time, so that avoiding blue light before you go to bed. So anyone that goes to bed with a tablet device or a mobile phone, that can inhibit your natural sleep cycle as well. Also reducing caffeine and alcohol. But I guess for carers, often it's sleeping when you can, but trying not to nap in the afternoons. And always to seek professional help. If none of that's working for you, seeking professional help to rule out any underlying health conditions. So Live Up has some good tips for healthy sleeping, and the Sleep Health Foundation has lots of evidence-based, expert-reviewed fact sheets for different aspects of sleep as well. If you're looking for additional information and workshops, just wanted to let you know that the education team at Carers New South Wales offers a free information sessions on workshops on a number of different topics. You can identify where they are by visiting our upcoming events page on our website or subscribing to the education mailing list, which you're all welcome to do so. And these are the topics that are currently available. We also encourage guest speaker requests. So if you have a group of carers, or if you're a service provider or a clinician, for instance, you've got a group of people that might want to know more about any of these topics, we will be happy to talk to you about that. Carers New South Wales also has a wellbeing handbook, and this was created, it was a year or 2 ago now, but it was created specifically for carers, and the title of this is called Pouring from an Empty Cup. And it's recognition that often carers put their own needs last, and it can have an impact on health and wellbeing. So this has a whole lot of tips for some self-led strategies for carers to improve and maintain your physical and mental health. There's lots of tips, resources, video links and activities in there that people may benefit from. If you wanted to click on the link here, you're able to either read the handbook on your device or you can download a copy for yourself. And I'll just show you what that looks like. Okay. So this is what it would look like when you click on the link. And there's quite a lot of content in there. If there's a particular topic of interest, you can click on the actual heading and it'll take you straight through to the page that you may be interested in. We also have a number of wellbeing information sheets, and this is focusing on practical guidance for self-care and on building connections with others. So the topics we have available include building social connections, carer wellbeing, connecting with carers online, mindfulness, recognising carer stress, and what are emotional boundaries. And again, if you click on the link here, it will take you directly to Carers New South Wales website. And on the page, there's a number of tips around looking after yourself. And there's an opportunity to read or download the information sheets as well. The other thing that may be of interest is that we have a number of video recordings on Carers New South Wales YouTube channel that have wellbeing topics that may be of interest. So you might have been exploring the idea of trialing something like laughter yoga, art for wellbeing, or meditation and body awareness. So we do have those recordings and those videos can be played at any time.
Off the session. We just still want to
And I'll just show you the
maintain
example that comes up.
Again, we may
So
have
the
thoughts, but
meditation
still
and body
maintain
awareness, we actually have a series of recordings where people are guided through some of these activities in the comfort of your own home. So just to let you know, this is the Carers New South Wales website. There's a whole lot of additional information, handbooks, fact sheets, upcoming events that are advertised through the website. So if you wanted to have a look. And just a reminder around general health advice, because we often hear from carers that it can be difficult sometimes to seek medical advice. Sometimes your GP is not available when you have availability to see them, or things happen out of hours. So just a reminder always to call 000 in an emergency. If you're looking for advice, if you're not quite sure if you're experiencing a problem, you're not quite sure if it warrants a trip to emergency or if it's a visit to the doctor, you can call Health Direct 24 hours a day and get access to a registered nurse who can help understand the best pathway for you. They can give advice, arrange a telehealth appointment with a doctor, help you locate the closest urgent care service and book an appointment. And there's also 136, which is a bulk billed after hours doctor service. And they are available evenings, Saturdays after 12, Sundays and public holidays. And just a reminder too about how Carer Gateway can support wellbeing. Carer Gateway has a range of tailored supports and services to help carers manage daily challenges, reduce stress and plan ahead. They may be able to talk to you to explore all the different ways caring might be impacting on your health, your wellbeing, your relationships, work, study and finances. They also can help you identify if there's a tangible item or a range of supports that may be helpful to support your wellbeing. And that might be a course that may be like a first aid course. It could be counselling, it could be peer support, it could even be coaching on a particular goal that you may have. or it could be online training, or it could be emergency or planned respite. So please bear that in mind. And again, these are the contact details for Carer Gateway. We've got the telephone number and the website. So I've just walked through that at a pretty high level. The idea is to share these resources with you. We do have a few minutes if people have any questions in regards to the resources that we've shared today. So I'm just going to check in with Francisca to see if we have any questions that have come through.
Wendy, you have a question in the chat from Michelle. Okay, who is the best person to contact about presenting a short session, lunchtime style, to an organization staff carers network to learn more about Carers New South Wales?
Yes, it would be myself. So it would actually be the education team at Carers New South Wales. And if I take you back a couple of pages.
We can see the
whoops, sorry,
email.
This one here. Just here, their upcoming events. And there's also a guest speaker request on our website, or you could email education@carersnewsouthwales.org.au, and we'll be able to get in touch with you in regards to that request. Okay, were there any other questions, Francisca?
Nothing in the chat.
Okay, so if anyone had any questions or wanted to clarify anything that I've shared today, please pop a message in the chat.
Nothing there, Wendy. It sounds like you were very clear.
Okay. All right, well, I might just hand over to Sarah for a quick wrap up. And we also, if people wanted to stay online, we have a short meditation video that you may like to enjoy before we wrap up.
Thanks, Wendy. And do stick around if you want to do that meditation at the end. It's always a nice way to end a session. I can see there's a question about a leaflet and a recording. There'll be a recording, yes, and we will send some files around. The questions are all coming now. Did you want to go back to you, Wendy?
Yeah, happy to. Yep. I think we moved on a bit too quickly, perhaps.
So we had, is there a carer's card? I mean, I can answer that one if you like.
Yep.
There is no carer's card in New South Wales. There are in some other states, but not in New South Wales. There was a question, is the recording available? I was going to touch on that, Kim. So the recording and the slides for this session will be distributed to registered attendees. And then we had a question, Diana, do you have any leaflet that you can send in the mail? So did you want to answer that one, Wendy?
Yeah, absolutely. I guess, Diana, the question would be what type of information were you looking for? So we have a generic Carers New South Wales brochure that has information around Carers New South Wales as an organisation. We've got all of the resources today. If people have trouble accessing them online and printing them, we'd be happy to support you with that. So if there was anything in particular that you were thinking might be helpful, otherwise the slides will be shared with all of the participants, as Sarah mentioned.
Okay, so, questions. I'll leave it to you, Wendy, with questions.
Okay.
So where would be the best to direct others for support on a national basis? I'm in New South Wales, but many of my colleagues are not.
Yeah, so I guess for individual carer support, it would be Carer Gateway as a national program to direct individual people to. These resources, being that they're all electronic and freely available online, people are welcome to access them from anywhere in Australia. I guess that if you're looking for individual support around health or mental health, people might be looking to their local state government to support them with that. You can see that there's a lot of New South Wales health resources built into our presentation today. Health Direct likewise is a national resource, so people can go to Health Direct for individual support with health and mental health resources. I hope that's answered the question.
another question there. Is there a chair yoga we can do?
Good question. I'm not sure that we've got a recording of chair yoga. I do know that the meditation and body awareness is designed for people who could be sitting or standing, because we're aware that people are at different abilities. What I can do is, before the recording goes out, I can look for a trusted source of chair yoga that's been recorded, and we'll send that out when we send the resources out.
All right, looks like maybe the questions have closed off, so we will sort of wrap up the session now. But again, there will be a meditation at the end of this session. So I just wanted to thank everyone for joining us in this third and final lunchtime learning session for National Carers Week. We will send you all the recording and slides next week. And yeah, just wanted to, for those of you that are carers, thank you for your important contributions to the community and the people that you care for, and hope that you've had an opportunity to feel recognised this week. Please do follow up on the resources that we've shared. Please do stay in touch with Carers New South Wales and follow up some of those links that we share. I think in doing that, we can officially close and go to our meditation.
Oops. Thanks, Sarah. Okay, I'm just going to start the recording now, so thanks everyone.
Please sit upright on your chair in a comfortable position, and if you'd like to, gently close your eyes. Draw your attention to your mind and observe your thoughts. If you like, describe what you're thinking to yourself. Now, release this thought and be open to any others that may surface next. Draw your awareness to your feelings. What are you feeling right now? Maybe joy, anger, serenity perhaps, or boredom. Whatever feeling comes up, you can silently name it, release it, and see which feeling surfaces next. Be fully present with your feelings. Your attention moves to your body. How does your body feel right now? Is it perhaps tense or relaxed? Tired or refreshed? Can you feel your body's contact to your seat? The contact of your feet to the ground? Try to be fully aware of every single body sensation. Accept it and release it. Draw your attention to your belly. Perhaps you can feel how it rises and sinks with your breath. Don't change your breath, just experience it. Be aware of every single breath. Now extend your attention to feel your body alongside your breath. Notice how you sit and how you breathe. Just sit and breathe. Be fully aware of your body and your breath. Now let go of your body and your breath. Gently open your eyes if they are closed, and reunite yourself with the outside world.